Hey everyone, this is Ron Hurst from Developing Leaders, and welcome to Land of the Knuckleheads, Episode 8. I'm wondering, have you ever been in a performance review with a manager and had an absolute bomb dropped on you? Has that ever happened? Just this devastatingly negative thing that they just waited, and it almost felt like they saved it up and just hit you with it over the head in the performance review. Has that ever happened? You know, the truth is it happens to many of us, and there's a very good reason why. I'm not going to dig into the reason why, but what I really want to do is, as an employee, I want to give you a strategy of how to deal with it. And if you are the knuckleheaded manager who's doing that, I'm telling you, it is a technical term I like to call stupid. Stop doing it. So first of all, to the managers, here's what I want you to think about. The reality of a performance review is it's a formality. It is not the opportunity for you to dump a load of crap on your employee. What I want you to do is actually think about performance as a yearly process. The first thing you need to be thinking about is, what can I do on a daily basis to make sure I understand how they're performing? There's two things I recommend. Number one, feedback. When you see something going well, make sure you talk about it. When you see something that needs correcting, make sure you correctly give feedback on the behavior that you see. Number two, as Peter Drucker would say, management by walking around. Make sure you're in their work area either every day, every couple of days, at least once a week. If you're that absent manager that only shows up in the Seagull Management School, you know, the one that goes swoop in, poop, and then fly away, if you're that manager, once again, you're behaving in a stupid way. What I want you to think about is the better your relationships with those employees, the more effective they're going to be. So spending a little bit of time walking through their area, observing their performance, without being creepy, of course, but observing their performance gives you the information that you need for providing feedback. Now, on a weekly basis, I also recommend that we do what's known as a one-on-one. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depends on the number of employees you have. But the idea is a regularly scheduled meeting once a week or once every other week to get to know them and talk to them about their performance. If you're doing that well, what you'll find is that you'll have so many opportunities to talk about their performance that they're going to actually start getting better at it. The other thing that I want you to consider is a quarterly performance review where you're looking at the goals that they're required to hit for the year and just having a brief 20-30 minute conversation. Where are you at? If you have that conversation, I think you'll find that the year-end review is the formality that it's meant to be, and it's more of a celebration of their success in supporting you and your department. Now, the second thing I want you to get, managers, if you're doing this, is you need to learn not to tell the employee how they're doing, but to ask them how they're doing. I want you to be thinking about what questions can I ask them where they can come to me with how they're performing. Because if they are doing that, guess what happens to the amount of time requirement that you have in dealing with each of your employees? It starts to decrease, giving you more time to focus on the more important parts of your role. It's planning, strategizing, working on developing your employees, all the important things, instead of monitoring the daily performance. So I want you to start learning to ask the right questions. When you see an employee, so what challenges are you facing today?
Well, Mr. Boss, I'm really frustrated. I can't do my job right.
Okay, so what's the problem?
I don't know.
Well, you can't really help that employee if they don't understand the problem. So dig in and help them define the problem. And once they've got it defined, don't be the, oh, look at me, I'm the conquering hero, I've got all the answers. Don't be the answer person. Actually, ask more questions. Get them to come up with possible solutions and then ask them which one you think is the best. If they implement their solutions, guess what? You know that problem that you have where you can't seem to keep things changed? Well, your employees will keep it changed for you. That's right. Keeping changes changed isn't as complicated as you think it is. It's just about getting your own ego out of the way. All right, now let's switch gears. If you are an employee and your boss is doing this nuclear bomb in the performance review, what can you do? Well, the reality is the first thing you can't do is worry about the one that's coming in the next couple of weeks. What I need you to be thinking about is next year. This is a long play. You're planning on working there for a while, so let's play as if you are going to work there for a while. On a weekly basis, check in with your boss, talk to them about your performance. Talk to them about where you're at, where Now, this is a really interesting point. Your boss might not listen to you. And you know why? Because you're likely to talk to them from your point of view and not theirs. So what I need you to think about, if your boss is doing this nuclear bomb on you in your performance review, I want you to think about starting to look at communicating to him or her from their perspective. What's important to them? How does your performance impact theirs? So, boss, our productivity numbers are down today in my area, and I know that this rolls up and is really important in our department, and I've got some ideas on how we can improve, and I'd like to talk to you about the alternatives. If you start talking to your boss like that, not only are they going to start to trust you more, they're going to stop micromanaging you. They're going to actually trust you to a point where they're going to focus more on other people that are not performing at the same level, and that is a huge win. And guess what? The employee that can solve their own problems, that can get performance and be independent, is the most likely one to be looked at when promotional opportunities come up. So what I want you to do is not worry about the next time you get the bomb dropped on you. Think about what you can do over the course of the next year to make that completely unnecessary on their part, such that you've performed so well, they know it, and you've talked to them throughout the year that there's nothing to talk about negative. And that's where I want you to be. This is Ron Hurst from Developing Leaders and Land of the Knuckleheads. I hope you'll come back and check out all our previous episodes 1 through 7, and we'll have some more coming up in the near future. I look forward to seeing you on our website and on YouTube. Thank you. Lead well.